Hello, everyone. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today, we're diving into a dramatic turning point in the story, the moment when Lynn secretly plots to push Tu Tieu out of the house, even using money to force her to disappear, unaware that someone is about to step in and change everything. What exactly happened at the market that turned Rain into a battlefield of family betrayal? Let's uncover the truth together. If you enjoy emotional storytelling and intense twists, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next. The rain doesn't just fall, it crashes, pouring down like buckets thrown from the sky. The market stalls rattle as people instinctively step away from the open walkway, and then, cutting through the rain like a dark shadow, Lynn appears. Her long black coat is soaked, the fabric clinging to her as if the storm itself is hanging on. She walks straight toward Tu Tieu's cassava stall, without so much as glancing at anyone around. She places her handbag on the mat with the calm precision of someone who knows exactly what they're about to do. Slowly, she unzips it. One stack of cash appears, then another, and another. Thick green banknotes pile in front of Tu Tieu until the mat barely shows beneath them. Even the rain seems to quiet, as if the sky itself is stunned. Take this money and leave that house immediately. Lynn's voice isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. The words slice through the air with a tone so sharp, people nearby instinctively hold their breath. Tu Tieu stares at the money, too shocked to speak. The stacks sit there like an insult, carved into her everyday struggle, every late night selling warm cassava, every tear shed for a mother she barely knew, every hope she carried since returning home. Her lips tremble. Her voice won't come out. All around them, the market falls silent, except for the relentless pounding of rain on the tin roofs above. To anyone watching, Lynn looks perfectly composed, but her eyes reveal something else, anger, simmering just beneath the surface. Ever since that late-night phone call, she overheard between her mother and the family lawyer. The moment she learned her mother planned to transfer the entire Tien Truong company to Tu Tieu, her biological daughter, something inside Lynn snapped. She had spent years believing everything would one day be hers. Years cleaning up messes in the company, calculating every deal, every risk, every penny. She believed she earned it, deserved it. The house, the farm, the company, all of it. Why should she share it with someone who just walked back into their lives? So now, here she stands, eyes fixed on the girl who unknowingly stole what she believed belonged to her. Tu Tieu staggers backward, shoulders hitting the wooden post of the stall. Her hands shake as she feebly pushes the money forward. I don't need money. I just want my mother. Her voice cracks, nearly drowned out by the storm. Lynn's lips curl into a faint smirk, almost pitying, almost cruel. Since you came back, all she does is worry. She doesn't sleep. She doesn't smile. You say you want her? Then stop hurting her. The words hit harder than the rain, like needles piercing skin. Tu Tieu has no defense against them. Tears gather at the corners of her eyes, mingling with the downpour. She wants to say that she never wanted the company, never thought of money, never cared about the inheritance. She only wanted something simple, someone to call mom without feeling like an intruder. But her throat tightens with grief. The words refuse to come. All she can do is stand there, soaked and shaking, while the rain washes away any strength she has left. The market vendors whisper from a distance, unsure whether to step closer or stay out of the storm of family secrets unraveling in front of them. No one moves. No one interferes. Then the crowd abruptly parts. A tall figure bursts into the market, panting as if he's run here without stopping. Uri. His hair is wet, clothes plastered to his skin, but his eyes burn with a fury no rain can put out. He pushes through, planting himself between Lynn and Tu Tieu like a shield. "This is her home!" His voice erupts, echoing across the tin roofs. "You have no right to drive her away." Lynn stiffens, taken aback, not because of the volume, but because, for the first time, someone didn't back down. Uri points at the money, jaw clenched. "You think cash solves everything? Do you know how long she searched for her mother? Do you understand what it cost her just to come home?" He turns, cupping Tu Tieu's tear-soaked face with a trembling hand, wiping her cheeks gently, as if her tears burn him too. She is shaking, barely breathing, but she leans into him, as though he's the only stable thing in a world suddenly collapsing. A tiny tremor flickers across Lynn's expression. Jealousy? Rage? Fear? It's impossible to tell. She responds quickly, voice tight, claiming she's only doing what their mother asked. But the way she stutters, the way she avoids Uri's eyes, no one believes her. Not even the bystanders who know nothing of the inheritance. The silence grows heavier. Then Lynn snatches the cash, shoves it back into her bag, and storms through the rain, puddles splashing beneath every furious step. But the storm she brought doesn't leave with her. Uri still holds Tu Tieu close, whispering softly, "You're not alone. I'm here. No one can take your home away." The rain eases into a drizzle. The crowd disperses, pretending to return to normal life. But every person leaves with the memory of what they just witnessed, money used like a weapon, and a sister's heart shattered in public. Tu Tieu sits among her empty cassava boxes, drenched, silent, clutching Uri's sleeve as if letting go will make everything fall apart. The wind blows through the market, carrying the scent of wet earth and steaming cassava. She lifts her gaze to the sky, voice small and broken. "Did I really make Mom unhappy?" Uri shakes his head, firm but gentle. "You only wanted a family. That's not a sin." She nods, but doubt lingers in her eyes. She stands, wiping her face, gathering the empty baskets with trembling hands. Her steps are slow, fragile, but she walks anyway, because she came for love, not for property. And she doesn't realize yet that someone she calls sister has already begun planning how to take everything from her. The rain has finally thinned into a mist by the time Tu Tieu and Uri make their way home. But the storm that matters, the one stirred up by Lynn, is only beginning to take shape. Inside the house, warm lights glow, soft and comforting. But to Lynn, returning soaked and furious, the warmth feels like a personal insult. She slams her bag on the dresser in her room, forehead pressed to the mirror as she tries to steady her breath. Minutes earlier, she overheard her mother on the phone with the family lawyer, calmly discussing the transfer of every remaining share of Tien Truong Company to her biological daughter, Tu Tieu. Every word replayed like a venomous echo. "Yes, I want all company assets in Tutu's name. Yes, she's my only blood child. Only blood child." Lynn had frozen in the hallway, the words curling into her chest like thorns. She had been the one running that company, the one defending it when the family fell apart, the one protecting it for years. And now she was being pushed aside for someone who barely knew their mother's favorite tea. She wanted to scream. Instead, she acted. That was why she marched into the market today. Why she threw money on the ground like it meant nothing. Why she demanded Tu Tieu leave the home Lynn once believed would be hers forever. But Uri's interference, his voice ringing through the market, that shattered Lynn's perfect plan. She presses her fingers to her temples. Uri, you're in my way. Her reflection stares back, wet hair clinging to her cheeks, eyes burning with quiet fury. Then a smile slowly forms. Not anger, not panic. A plan. She wipes her face dry, changes into fresh clothes, and heads to the hallway just in time to hear faint footsteps. Tu Tieu's. The girl's soft voice drifts through the house. Mom, I'm home. Her mother's voice, warm and tired, responds with relief. Come here, darling. Let me see you. Lynn pauses, shadowed by the dim light of the corridor, listening. The reunion should move her. It should pull at her heart like it did when she was younger, craving the love she never fully received. But now, bitterness floods in, drowning any trace of sentiment. Tu Tieu doesn't see her watching, doesn't hear the quiet whisper that slips from Lynn's lips. You won't stay here long. Later that night, the house has gone still. Curtains sway as the mountain wind drifts in through the half-open windows. Uri steps out of the guest room and moves toward the kitchen, looking for water. As he passes the living room, he stops short. Lynn is already there, sitting calmly, legs crossed, staring at him as though she's been waiting. The tension is instant, sharp. Uri speaks first. If you're planning to throw money at Tu Tieu again, don't. Lynn's lips curl into a faint, controlled smile. I don't need to repeat myself. Today was merely step one. He narrows his eyes. Step one of what? Removing obstacles. She answers simply. Uri takes a single step closer. She's your sister. Lynn laughs softly, an eerie, hollow sound. Half-sister? Adopted sister? A sister I didn't ask for? A sister who walked in and took everything I built? Uri's jaw clenches, but Lynn continues. Tell me, Uri, if someone threatened to take away the future you worked for, would you let them? I'd fight, Uri says, but not by destroying people. Lynn tilts her head. We are not the same. Her voice lowers, velvet smooth and dangerous. You should focus on your job, on your life, on staying out of things that don't concern you. It does concern me, he snaps. She's my family now. At that, Lynn's expression shifts, like a spark has touched dry oil. She stands, walks toward him, and stops inches from his face. Then you will fall with her. Uri doesn't flinch, and that annoys her more than anything. She steps back, dusting invisible lint from her sleeve as if the conversation is over. Good night, Uri. But he doesn't move. What are you planning? Lynn smiles, eyes gleaming with something sharp enough to cut. Something very simple, she whispers, convincing this house that neither of you belong here. The next morning, the first phase of her plan begins. She waits until her mother, Mrs. Lon, sits down for breakfast, exhausted from the night before. Lynn pours tea for her, playing the perfect daughter, gentle hands, soft voice. Mom, she begins lightly, did you sleep well? Mrs. Lon sighs. Not really, I've been worried. So much has happened today. Lynn nods sympathetically. I understand. It's difficult having so much stress around the house. Her mother frowns. Stress? Well, Lynn lowers her voice, gaze drifting toward Tu Tieu's room. Ever since she came back, things have been tense. You barely sleep. You cry often. Even Uri seems overwhelmed. Mrs. Lon stiffens. I never said. I know. Lynn interrupts gently. You don't complain. You're too kind. But I hear things at night. You talk in your sleep. You worry about her more than she worries about you. Mrs. Land's expression grows troubled. Lynn adds softly, "I only want you to rest, Mom. You deserve that much." Every word is dipped in honey. Every intention is razor sharp. She doesn't need to convince Mrs. Land completely, not yet. Just enough to plant seeds. Seeds that will grow into doubt, into fear, into suspicion of both Uri and Tu Tieu. Meanwhile, in the shed behind the house, Uri pores over files he collected after the confrontation. He reviews financial transfers, messages, call logs, searching for anything that proves Lynn is behind recent scandals, manipulation, or the night she nearly destroyed the farm. A name keeps appearing, a mysterious man who once confessed to the crime, then vanished. No family, no connection, no motive. And worst of all, someone paid him through a crypto wallet linked to an old case Uri once investigated, a criminal network, a money laundering operation, and now Lynn is connected. Uri rubs his forehead, connecting the dots. She bought her innocence, but he cannot confront her yet, not without solid proof, and not while she's weaving lies around the family like a spider closing in on trapped prey. He heads back toward the house, just in time to see Lynn closing Tu Tieu's bedroom door with a frighteningly serene smile. What did she do? What did she say? He takes a step forward, ready to confront her, but she only brushes past him, whispering, "Tick-tock, Uri. Time is almost up for both of you." Across the hallway, Tu Tieu sits on her bed, staring at a stack of papers Lynn just handed her. "Temporary documents," Lynn had said. "Just sign so I can help manage the farm while you recover from all the stress." Her fingers hover over the lines requiring her signature. She wants to trust her sister. She wants to believe the best. She wants family, and that fragile desire is exactly what Lynn is counting on. Lynn, frustrated after overhearing her mother planning to leave the entire Tin Truong company to her biological daughter Tu Tieu, decides to remove her rival once and for all. At a rainy market, she coldly offers Tu Tieu a large sum of cash, ordering her to leave the family home. Shocked and heartbroken, Tu Tieu refuses, saying she only wants a mother, not money. Lynn accuses her of bringing sadness and chaos to their household, pushing Tu Tieu into emotional collapse. Just as Lynn's cruelty reaches its peak, Uri arrives and fiercely defends Tu Tieu, declaring she has every right to stay. He exposes Lynn's selfish intentions, forcing her to retreat. After Lynn leaves, Tu Tieu struggles with doubt, wondering if she truly caused pain to her mother. Uri reassures her, reminding her that all she ever wanted was a family.